So dear students, I'm back with the next video, and in today's video I'm going to teach you Ampere's circuital law. So in the last video we did Weitz-Sabot law, which is actually analogous to Coulomb's law. Coulomb's law in electrostatics. Now today we are studying Ampere's circuital law, which is analogous to Gauss's law. Gauss's law in electrostatics. So let's study what is Ampere's circuital law. So Ampere's circuital law is a very simple law which gives us the value of the magnetic field flowing around a wire or inside the wire. Suppose you have a wire, current carrying wire, where I current is flowing. Now if you make a circle perpendicular to this wire, that means if this is a circle, the wire is piercing this particular circle, then what will happen is, if this wire pierces this particular circle at the center O, and let R be the radius of this particular circle, then what will happen is there will be the presence of magnetic field. There will be the presence of magnetic field directed tangentially to the every point on the circle. So the direction of the magnetic field will be this one, tangential. So now tangential can be either clockwise or anti-clockwise. So it is given by simply your this particular right hand rule. If this is the direction of the current, if this term is the direction of the current, then the four fingers will give me the direction of the magnetic field. So in this case, suppose this is the circle and this is the current, then the magnetic field are outward. So this magnetic fields are outward tangential. This side inward and this side outward, because the circle is this way. Now what is the value of this particular magnetic field around this particular current carrying wire? So that is given by my Ampere's circuital law. So it says that according to Ampere's circuital law, my BDL. What is BDL? BDL is the, suppose this is the magnetic field at this particular DL element L. Suppose this is a small DL element and this is the magnetic field at that DL element. So that the dot product between the two will be B dot DL. Similarly, there is another DL element. So there are infinite DL element that makes the circumference of the circle. So the combination of such B dot DL will be the combination. So combination is given by surface integral, closed integral. So the combination of such B dot DL will be nothing but it is the multiplication of permeability of free space multiplied by the current enclosed by this particular circle. So in this case, what is the current enclosed? The current enclosed by this particular circular loop is IE, because all the current is flowing inside this circle. So IE is the current enclosed, because IE is currently flowing inside this circle. Now what integration over B dot dl will give me? B is constant everywhere around the circle. So B dot dl is actually BDL only, because DL element and B are in the same direction, so their dot product is like theta is 0, so cos 0 will be 1. So B dot dl is simply B dl summation over mu 0 into I enclosed. So this is important. The current, the only current which is taken is the current enclosed by this particular wire. In this case, so particular current enclosed by this loop. So in this case, the loop encloses all the current, IE. So B is a constant, it comes outside, and dl is equals to mu 0 IE. Now what is the summation of dl around this particular circular loop gives me? So dl plus dl plus dl plus dl plus everywhere give me the circumference of the circle. That means the magnetic field will be equals to B into 2 pi r. 2 pi r is the circumference of the circle, will be equals to mu 0 IE. This will give me B is equals to mu 0 IE by 2 pi r. That means the value of the magnetic field at a distance r from the center of the circle will be this much, where mu 0 is a permeability, IE is the current enclosed by the circular loop, 2 pi is a constant, and r is the distance at which you are taking the magnetic field. If r is this one, then B is inversely proportional to r. That means B going to decrease. So as you move away from this wire, the value of the magnetic field will decrease. Now let's calculate the value of a magnetic field. Let's calculate the value of the magnetic field. Suppose you have a thick circular wire. Suppose thick current carrying wire where I current is flowing, and let E be the radius of this circle, this wire. Suppose you have a wire where total current flowing is I. So through this particular wire, total current I is flowing, and the radius of this wire is A. Now what we are going to calculate is, I will consider a point here outside the wire where I am going to find my magnetic field, and I will consider another point inside the wire where I am going to calculate my magnetic field. So first outside the wire, I will draw a circle. I will draw a circle in such a way that that circle constitute the point where you want to find the magnetic field. Okay, and this circle should be perpendicular to this wire. This wire pierces this circle perpendicularly. So if this is the circle, this is the wire, and this tip of this circle is suppose point where I want to calculate the magnetic field. Let the radius of that point is either this or this. The radius is same, because this is not a perfect circle here, I haven't drawn, but for the circle, this r and this r are same. Okay, so firstly I am going to calculate the magnetic field at r greater than A, because A is up to here only, but r is up to here. That means I am calculating the magnetic field at r greater than A firstly. Similarly, I am calculating magnetic field. Now for this point, I have to draw another circle this way. This circle is also perpendicular to the wire, but it has a radius smaller than A, because A is up to here, but this r is only up to here. So at this point, what is the value of the magnetic field? I am going to calculate, and that point is r less than A. So for this point, this radius is lesser than the radius of the wire itself. So firstly see, according to Ampere's law, Ampere-Circuital law, at any point outside the wire, magnetic field is given by mu 0 divided by 2 pi r. Mu 0 divided by 2 pi r. Okay, why 2 pi r? Because r is the radius of this circle. So the radius of the circle means 2 pi r means the circumference of the circle. So this formula only. So mu 0 by 2 pi r and I enclosed. What is the I enclosed by this particular wire? This particular circular loop. What is the current enclosed? So this wire encloses all the this loop encloses all the wire, isn't it? That means this circular loop encloses all the current flowing through the wire. That means the current encloses will be I itself. So whole current is enclosed by the loop which is outside the wire. That means the magnetic field at this point, so it's point 1 will be, this is point 1 will be B is equals to mu 0 I by 2 pi r. That means magnetic field is inversely proportional to the radius in this case, which is outside. B is inversely proportional to the radius at a point which is outside the wire. Okay, at a point greater than A, because R is greater than A. So for all such points, B is inversely proportional to R. Now inside the wire, what will happen? My B is mu 0 divided by, okay, I am taking the radius of this circle to be R again. Okay, this is different R, the value is lesser, but this is a different situation. So forget the above situation. So come into the inside situation. The radius of this is also R. So mu 0 by 2 pi R will be my first term. Mu 0 by 2 pi R. This R and this are different now because this is smaller than A. Into I enclosed. Now what is the current enclosed by this loop here? Now see, this loop is actually inside the wire, isn't it? That means this loop do not encloses all the current flowing through the wire. This loop only encloses a few current flowing through the wire because some portion of the wire is outside the loop. That means some current flow through this also, some current flow this also. That means this loop do not encloses all the current I. So how much current do this loop encloses? So how much current? IE. It's IE. So what is the value of IE? Mu 0 divided by 2 pi R. So IE will be current per unit area of this wire, current per unit area of this wire into the area of this loop will give me the current enclosed by this loop. So firstly find the current density. What is the current per unit area of this wire? And multiply it by the area of this loop. Then you will get the current enclosed by this loop. So current per unit area for this wire will be, this wire is also has a circular cross section. So current plus per unit area will be I divided by pi A square, because A is the radius of the wire. So this is current per unit area of the wire, I by pi A square, multiplied by what is the area of this loop? The area of this loop is pi R square again. This R, the smaller radius. Now what will cancel? Pi get cancelled. R, this is also the area of the small radius of the smaller area. This is also the radius of the smaller loop. So this R and this R get cancelled. So B will be mu 0 I divided by 2 pi A square into R. So this is the magnetic field inside the wire. That means inside the wire B is directly proportional to R. Okay. So inside the wire magnetic field is directly proportional to R. That means if R is less than A, if the radius of the loop is smaller than the radius of the circular wire, then for such points magnetic field will be directly proportional. For points outside the wire, B is inversely proportional. That means for radius greater than for the radius of the loop greater than the radius of the wire, magnetic field will be inversely proportional. So what will be the graph of the magnetic field and the distance looks like? Suppose this is a distance, this is the magnetic field, then up to radius A, or for distances lesser than this A, radius of the wire, for distances lesser than the radius of the wire, B is directly proportional to R. For radius lesser than the radius A, lesser than the radius A, B is directly proportional to the R. That means we get a straight line, because directly proportional things will give me the straight line. And now when the distance increases, when R is greater than, when the distance increases, for distances less than A, B is directly proportional to R. That means for distances less than A, it will be a straight line. Now for distances greater than A, now when you move distances greater than A, this is A, so the points are greater than A if you move this way. So for such distances, B will be inversely proportional to R. That means the curve will be this one, decaying curve. So this is the graph between magnetic field and distances. So this is it for today. Thank you.